So I get lots of questions in my inbox all the time about music licensing. And one of the biggest ones I, hear a lot is people are wondering, how can I get noticed by music supervisors when all they hear about is that music supervisors never return calls or emails, and they're much more interested in going after labels, publishers, licensing agents, people that they trust, they already know. Some people are under the impression that you have to have representation. There's no way to connect with a music supervisor. So this couldn't be further from the truth. Well, okay, let me rephrase that. It's partially right. It's definitely difficult to get into, in front of a music supervisor. It just is. I mean, we all know that. They're inundated with emails. They're constantly in demand. There's all kinds of musicians trying to get their music into TV and film. So how are you supposed to do this without getting representation? Well, the thing is, remember that when a music supervisor gets up in the morning, they get their coffee and they go down to their computer and they check out what's going on for their latest search, up comes their inbox and all these emails that came in from, they probably reached out to some people about what they were looking for. And then in their inbox, there's a bunch of emails from these people that they hit up, the people that they do trust, the people that they really want to get those things from, and not from the public, or indie musicians. But if your email is in there and it's crafted just like everyone else's email, if the subject line says exactly the right thing and it fits right in there with everyone else's, as they're going down and they see that, there's no reason, even if they don't recognize you, there's no reason why they might not just click on it and at least read what you have to say, if it's as long as it's concise and to the point, and you've done everything right in terms of how you deliver the music to them and all of this other stuff, that they might give your music a listen, right? Now, if you think about that one music supervisor that, of course, you've targeted your music to, right? That's critical. You can't just willy-nilly send a song to them. Then they're going to blacklist you. They'll be like, I was looking for like a pop tune and they sent me a hip hop tune. It's not going to jive. They're going to think you don't know what you're doing and you're basically wasting their time. So they're going to get rid of that. So the whole idea is to make sure that you target your music first, and then when they get that in their inbox, they're going to treat you just the way they treat everyone else. But the only thing is you got to sound like everybody else. You got to have the same lingo, have to understand the same things. You need to format things correctly. You need to understand exactly how to go about what you're doing. I can't get into all the details, of course, in this short video. But the critical thing is not to ever think that you can't get your music heard by music supervisors. It happens all the time. People get their foot in the door. Now, that being said, representation is extremely important too. So some of you might do better at representation. Others might be really keen to sort of really hyper target music supervisors, get your music out there and really focus on that. Or you can have a hybrid of both, right? You can have some songs with representation and other songs that you're pushing towards music supervisors. So just keep that in mind. Never think that it's all about just who you know, that music supervisors are impossible to get through. It can definitely be done, and members of my community do it all the time. And there's lots of indie songwriters out there who make a living at music licensing, who have developed a reputation with the music supervisors that they submit to, but they started from somewhere. They started where you're at, right? Everyone starts from somewhere. Okay. Hopefully that will, encourage you, and that you can realize it's not an impossible task. You don't have to feel like you're uploading your songs to, these sort of vast, non-exclusive music libraries and being a needle in the haystack. There are other ways to go about this and ways to have success in sync. Okay, thanks for hanging out, and we'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye.